A Dutch prog trio, an Australian guitar hero, and modern progressive sounds from Mumbai. All of this and more on the Progcast Friday Top 5. Good morning, prog fans. It is Friday, November 27th. I'm your host, Randy Salo, and you are listening to the Progcast Friday Top 5. Every Friday, a lot of new music comes out. It's hard to get through all of this stuff, so Dario, my co-host, and I sift through all of these new releases. We pick out 5 that we think you should check out, and we present them on the show. So go grab your smartphone, head over to Bandcamp, Spotify, or wherever you listen to new music, and check these out. First up, hailing from Mumbai, India, A Mutual Question dropped their new long player, Connect. This is a progressive dive into ambient soundscapes, complex rhythms, colorful guitar textures, and sometimes melodic vocals. Much of the album is instrumental, actually, because the band was originally rooted in post-rock, but now seamlessly incorporates vocals into their modern prog sound. Definitely for modern guitar fans of bands like Intervals or Plini. Speaking of Plini, the modern Australian guitar legend returns with his new album, Impulse Voices. Plini delivers his signature guitar tones against a richly layered combination of complex rhythms and playful melodies. It's not about speed and in-your-face riffing, but about melody and nuance and dynamics. With an amazing production from Simon Grove, Plini's musical personality shines through this magical release. Pro tip: yesterday on the regular Progcast, Dario interviewed Plini to talk all about the new record, so check that out. Sailing back to Europe, let's check out my bass pick of the week from the Dutch prog trio Our Oceans. The new record, While Time Disappears, is out today via Long Branch Records. From high-energy jams with powerful epic lead vocals to tender melodic passages, I'm reminded of Pain of Salvation, Muse, and modern bands like Good Tiger or Marathon. Bassist Robin Zielhorst's smooth and winding fretless bass sounds, his incorporation of synth sounds, and just the variety of his playing lands him on my bass radar this week. Another pro tip: Dario interviewed singer-guitarist Timon last Monday on the regular Progcast to talk about the history of the band and the new record. Dario and I have actually been blindsided a few times in the last month with releases that are just appearing out of nowhere. I think because of Corona, maybe, because a lot of people are like having more time to write because there's less time for touring and they just want to get stuff out so they remain visible to their fans and stuff. I think a lot of bands are just like, outputting as much stuff as they can during this time. And one of these last-minute releases is the new release from Kyros, the London-based synth prog band. This EP, 4 of Fear, is 4 tracks of very different styles. I mean, it combines dubstep, 80s synth pop, modern progressive stuff, cinematic orchestral elements. It's all over the place, but it's somehow still very cohesive. They just released their album Selexa Dreams back in June, and this EP just sort of showed up out of nowhere, but it's a very welcome addition to this week's list. I only had a chance to listen to these 4 songs one time through before recording this, but I was already really hit by this massive sound and this crazy dynamic mix of music. So, sometimes the best music comes along and surprises you instead of has all this PR hype in front of it. So check it out. All right, let's actually wrap this up with a release that's going to drop in between this episode and the next episode of the Progcast Friday Top 5, and that's guitarist-singer Paul Sadler from Spires is releasing his solo album, Soon to Be Absorbed. It's Paul's solo record, but don't expect a Spires spinoff here, because as he writes, his signature writing style is there, but this definitely delves into a wide array of sound textures. Rooted mostly in acoustic guitar, this is also not a soft record. Obvious comparisons could be Opeth, but I think this would actually sit really well in a playlist of songs from bands like The Deer Hunter or Riverside, and also Porcupine Tree. Highly recommended. So those were our top picks. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure and leave us a rating and a review wherever you listen to this podcast. We also really appreciate when you let us know what you thought of these releases in the comments across all the social media platforms. As you guys probably know, you can see this on Facebook and YouTube, Instagram, all the podcast platforms. So wherever you leave comments, we see them, we appreciate them. And if you want to check out the regular podcast, new episodes air Mondays and Thursdays, this show on Fridays. For written reviews and other written interviews, check out the Progspace.com. This has been the Progcast Friday Top 5. I've been your host, Randy Salo. You guys have been awesome. See you next Friday, Prog fans.